Okay, Dennis, I read the feature in the Northside People West on your college recently, and our interview today will be the fourth College of Further Education I will have covered in an interview. Could you start
Yes.
off? Could you start off by telling me a bit about the history and evolution of Dunboyne College of Further Education, from how you were established up until the present day?
Absolutely, that'll be no problem. And thanks for the opportunity. We started in 2003 with 2 courses in business and social studies in the old primary school in Dunboyne. In 2005, then we moved to St. Peter's College, Dunboyne, where we had 4 courses, including business, social studies, nursing and art. And then as we grew in 2007, we moved to Dunboyne Business Park, our current location, where we took over 3 units in the business park. And since then, we've grown. In 2014, we got standalone status. In 2016, we were put on the Department of Education's building list. And in 2018, we got a serious jump in allocated numbers, so that now we have over 1,000 students doing over 50 courses in 6 major different areas, in the healthcare area, in the arts laws area, or teaching, also in the science area, business, IT and design, and finally in the services and leisure areas. So our 50 courses at levels 5 and 6 would span each of those 6 areas.
That's great, yeah. Okay, the 3 other colleges I mentioned I've covered in the interviews to date are Coláiste Ida, Coláiste Dúlaig and Ballyfermot College. Can you tell me what marks your college as being different from these other colleges?
Well, they're all very fine colleges and they do fantastic work. And I suppose the demographic areas that we serve are probably a bit different. Obviously, Coláiste Dúlaig would serve very much, the north side of Dublin, that greater area. Coláiste Ida, the northwest side, and Ballyfermot, Dublin West to a degree, Midwest, I should say. We serve all of Meath, which is 200,000 people. We serve all of North Kildare, which would be Leixlip, Maynooth and Kilcock. We also serve all of West Dublin, all the Blanchardstown area into Finglas. A lot of that area would not have a PLC college in that area. So we're only 10 kilometres, even though we're located in County Meath, we're only 10 kilometres from most of these 8 feeder schools. And we would have 8 feeder schools in the Blanchardstown area. And we've been dealing with these feeder schools really since 2003. What also, I suppose, would make our college, probably unique in some ways is we're very near to Maynooth University. And last year, 130 of our students were offered direct entry from ourselves into Maynooth in a whole range of areas, ranging from arts, social science, law, business, etc. We're also very strong links with DCU and Blanchardstown IT, which is now part of the Technical University for Dublin, is now only, about 5 kilometres from our college, which means that we have huge links into them. In fact, last year we had 92 offers at level 8 and 166 at level 7. That means there was 250 offers made to our college from TU for Dublin, and most of them were the Blanchardstown area. So I suppose we're unique that we're a further education college in the midst of a lot of higher education institutions. And the other thing that probably would make us quite different is that we would have quite a few matures. We're very much in an economic growth area. Many people will be familiar with that whole area of Darmouthstown and Greater Blanchardstown into Dunboyne, which is now has all the the Facebooks and all these large developments, Mark Sharp and Dome, which is Tequila. A lot of large multinationals, a lot of large industries located in that area who want their employees trained up in a whole range of training courses. So we have skills to advance as well. But I suppose our location makes us very unique in that we're the centre of a massive economic growth area.
That's great. Yeah, I was looking at your college's website recently, and you have a lot of excellent courses. Am I right in saying that you don't do diploma courses like Coláiste Dúlaig and Ballyfermot College, but your courses equip your students with easier progression onto university and the ITs?
Yes, you see, I suppose, like I mentioned there, our location would mean that we don't really have to run a lot of courses after level 6. But to be honest, the demand is the main reason for that. Is we have 1,000 places, but we have 2,500 500 applicants every year. So we can just about serve our level 5 and 6 demand. If we were to get into a huge range of level 7 and 8 diploma courses, we will be taken away from students who really need that next step at level 5, 6. They need to be able to do self-directed learning. They need to be able to research. They need to be able to reference. They basically need those type of skills, and we equip them with them, and that allows them then to move on to TU for Dublin, to move on to Maynooth, to move on to UCD or DC or wherever they want to go. But also, the other half are students who do not want to go to third level, but actually want to get into industries, for instance, social care, business, computers, pharmacy, tourism, sports management, you know, all these type of areas that people maybe want to get into, hair and beauty, for instance. They want us to do a level 5, 6 to be equipped for the senior trade or for high tech or whatever qualification they need. So therefore, we're very much about getting students definitely into the next step. And the most important figure that we have, that we've prided ourselves on over the last decade, is that 90% of our students who complete a full award with us will either get a third level offer or they will get a job in their area of interest, be it healthcare or childcare or, you know, pharmacy assistant or tourism or, you know, or airline or hair or beauty, you know, in a salon. They're getting to where they need to go in that 1 year or 2 years with us. And that's what we feel is our most important. And also, I should mention that now they're under solace, and that, you know, there's a huge demand now for courses in apprenticeships, pre-apprenticeships, skills to advance, skills to complete, all these different programs where employees who want to upskill in their workplace would come to us. So now we're getting into that place, and we'll offer a whole range of courses in that area now going forward.
That's great, yeah. From looking at your website, I am personally particularly interested in your department and courses in healthcare and community care. Can you tell me a bit more about this department?
Yes, the healthcare department started just with social care and nursing, and they were mainly dealing with students who wanted to move on into DCU or TU for Dublin to do social care or nursing or one of the other colleges around the country. But since then, we've expanded into, you know, physiotherapy studies. We've expanded this year into occupational therapy because the healthcare system is expanding so rapidly. And then from our whole social care, we got into youth and community work because a lot of people want to work in that whole youth and community sector, where you need people who are able to work in communities and make a vital difference for people who maybe need, you know, that little bit of help, assistance, support in getting through very difficult times in their life, and that support needs to be in the community. So we're very much into training people into that whole area as well. Childcare is in that area as well. You know, we need a lot of trained childcare professionals. We've seen during the lockdown how important that whole childcare industry is, and you need to train people at level 5, 6, because if they don't have our qualification or the ones that like in College of Dooley and other colleges, if they don't have that QQI level 5, then they cannot actually work in the childcare system. So we want to give people the adequate training to make sure that when they hit the job that they go into, they hit the ground running, and they've had work experience as well. Work experience is a very vital part of further education programs, where you actually get to make sure that this is the right area for you by working. For instance, if you go into nursing, you mentioned healthcare there, if you go into nursing and you know, you discover that sometimes people go straight in from the second level into third level, they discover, you know, in November or first year, they don't like the sight of blood, or they don't like a busy hospital ward or something like that. They will have worked through that in Dunboyne College or other further ed colleges. They will have had the work experience. They'll reaffirm it's the right thing for them. Plus, they will get the right on-the-job training. And in order to go into those workplaces, they need to have first aid. They need to have manual handling. They need to have all that type of training as well, which will really make them very employable.
He's doing great work. It's great the way you can go on to university and the ITs from doing a year or two in Dunboyne, you know. Okay, Dennis, can you tell me how you are getting on in the college over the last year with the COVID pandemic restrictions?
Yeah, that's an interesting question that you asked there. I mean, really, I'm sure every college has its own struggles in different ways, but really, to be honest, we knew this was coming last summer. So we were in there in July and August, and we got the whole place ready. We got in a fogging system, very similar to what they would have in in the airlines, or you probably saw it in some of the countries where they're out spraying the streets. We had a very much a fogging system. The place was fogged every 2 hours, first of all. Secondly, what we did was we operated an A and a B system. So from the very beginning, the public health advice from NEFID was that for students at 18 and over, in other words, in our sector, needed to be 2 meters apart. While it was 1 meter for the second level, we had to have 2 meters. So what we did was we could not have had 2 meters apart and have full classrooms. So we had an A and a B group. So the A were in 1 week, and while the A's were in, the other half of the class, the B's, were at home watching the same class at the same time through their computer screens. The following week, the B's were in, and the A's were at home watching the same class. They could ask questions in the same way as people in the room, but allowed people to have the college experience, but just half being in every second time. Unfortunately, since Christmas, because of the full level 5 lockdown, we've had to go remote learning for all our theory classes, but we're hoping that towards the end of March and into April, the students for hair, beauty, cookery, equine, all those students will be able to get back on site to finish the practical areas of their modules. But thankfully with Moodle, which is an online platform, we've been able to carry out all those lessons. The teachers have carried on with the exact same way they've progressed. Like last May, we'll probably have to have online exams as well, where the students have 24 hours to complete a whole set of exams. For the nurses, for instance, they have skills demonstrations. We hope to be able to do them on site in smaller groups in April and May. So it has been a challenge, an organisational challenge, but we pride ourselves in the fact that when we had the students in half and half between September and December, we had no case of COVID in the campus, and no HSE action had to be taken in relation to any of our students. So we were very happy with that actually the system we put in place actually worked very well.
Okay, that's great. Okay, Dennis, it was great talking to you. To come towards the end of the interview, can you give me the contact details of the college, and if you want to give a summary message to our listeners on Near FM also about your college, you can go ahead and do that if you want as well.
Well, look, I'll start with the contact details. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Our main contact is dunboynecollege.ie. Easy to remember, just dunboynecollege.ie. Or if you Google Dunboyne College, you'll get put onto our website. Every bit of contact is available through that. We're on 018026577. That's 018026577. Or just, you can always email dunboynecollege@lmetb.ie. But, so there's a range of ways, but the website will give you all those contact details as well. The easiest way is through dunboynecollege.ie and just click apply. And the main message I would have is this: look if we all set out today to go to Galway, from where you are there in the studio, really, if we left, we could go by bus, we could go by train, we could go by car, there's people who cycle, to Galway, and that's a slower route. It doesn't really matter how we get to Galway once you get to Galway. So what we have to do when it comes to education, there are loads of different ways, by going through CAO, by going through FE, by going in as a mature student, by going in and doing something different for a while employment-wise and getting on-the-job training and coming back to FE. There are loads of ways to get the qualifications you need. It's not like years ago where it was kind of university or bust. This is very much a different landscape. I think take all the opportunities, look at what's available to you. And our motto in Dunboyne has always been, begin here, go anywhere. And we really feel we're the great first step for people who really aren't really sure what they want to do or how to get there. We have guidance on site the whole way. We'll make sure you get into the right course and the right pathway to continue your education.